Tomahawk 1911, but being cross-dominant,
Yeah.
having an ambidextrous rifle.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's all right. The modern rifle I'm going to choose is technically ambidextrous.
Mine technically isn't, but...
I'm still going to get mocked heavily for it.
Well, it's time you tell us. Still giving us suspense.
All right.
Okay.
So, time to jump over to our modern. All right. So, my modern firearm, what I'm going to choose first is my sidearm. Now, part of me, there's a lot of different ones, but I actually think I'm going to do a rhino.
Ooh.
Especially a 45 rhino.
Yeah.
The Lakata rhino or whatever it's called. Now, why I'm choosing the rhino, and I'm tempted to do the 50 rhino.
Ooh.
Because you could with a rhino, and they do make it.
Yeah.
And that's because it has the lower barrel, you can do much heavier rounds in it much easier.
Yeah.
Because it has that recoil balance to it.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. The other one I would probably do, if I wasn't going to be doing the rhino, is the original Italian one, just because it's prettier.
Oh, I know the one.
But the problem is, and I'll pull up its name for the video. I know I have it saved on my computer because I really like it. The only problem is it's Italian. It's only made in Italy. They keep trying to produce it here in America, but imports is crap. Yeah, the Unica 6, and it is bloody expensive, but it's a very pretty firearm. So it'd either be the Rhino or the Unica. And the Unica doesn't come in anything heavier than 45.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's never been built for anything heavier than 45. So that's probably the main reason I'm going to do a Rhino at 50.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, I'm not headed down yet.
Okay, so what's primary?
Because right now, only one person. Okay, so that's my so the primary. So everyone's used. Okay, they both got picked up. Everybody's used to crapping on this gun because when it first came out, and I will readily admit this, when it first popped onto the market, yeah, probably, it was not the worst thing ever, but it definitely needed improvement.
It's still better than the AUG.
Oh, it's still better than the AUG.
Yeah, I know, like, every Australian veteran has just raged at me right now, but fuck you. The safety switch shouldn't be that retarded, and we should have a proper fucking selector system on it.
Okay, I still haven't said the name of the gun, so I'm...
yeah, no, it's, the platform is an SA-80.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the,
Now, are we saying the modern one or the pre-94 one?
No, I am doing the modern one that they currently have, which is the, dang it, I'll do the designation because it's not the it's not the LA8A1, and it's not the LA8A, it's like...
L85
It's not even the A. Yeah, it's not even the A versions anymore. They're out of the A.
Ah.
And they've done a lot of changes, and it is actually a beautiful firearm now.
Yeah.
It is a very beautiful firearm now. It is very reliable, and I know a lot of soldiers that swear by it.
Yeah.
And also that it's very reliable. And it's not just soldier, yeah, now I will fully admit, when it first came out, it was trash.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. It was trash. I can't defend that. Yeah, I still think it was pretty, but it was trash.
The reason I'm not going to give you shit is because even with its reliability issues, all of its features, like its mag release, the charging handle, are all really practical and well designed. It just had to get out of that reliability phase. And so,
do not walk in front of me. Walk to the side. I just laid a trip down here.
I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah. As much as I don't think it's pretty, I will give it as a good rifle because they have fixed that reliability problem.
Good rifle. They fixed all of the issues.
Yeah.
It's got,
I would much rather have it an AUG.
Oh, yeah. I'd much rather have it over an AUG.
Yeah.
Now,
I'd rather have the Vietnam era M16 over an AUG.
Actually, I agree with you there.
Especially since the Vietnam era M16 again was not as bad,
And actually, most of it ended up being fucking ammunition. They had to tweak it for that because the ammo got changed.
Well, not just the ammunition. Yeah, the ammunition.
They also did some cleaning kits, so they could save money.
They also didn't. The government decided that they would tell everyone that it was self-cleaning.
Oh,
so that way they wouldn't have
Christ.
to. So that way they wouldn't have to give the soldiers cleaning kits.
And they saved $5 a man doing that.
And killed so many people because their firearm hit on them when they needed it to not. Thank you, U.S. military. And that's why when everyone's like, why did we lose Vietnam? I look over at the government and the Pentagon. Yeah. Like, a lot of people blame just the politicians. The Pentagon was... like, everything that happened in Vietnam was an experiment on the soldiers. Not just an experiment to see, would this work? An experiment on the soldiers. Like, hey, let's get all these soldiers hooked on LSD... and then stop giving them LSD, and let's find out what... Okay, it's time to leave. And then find out what happens when they go in withdrawals. Oh, wow, they kill themselves in droves. Who thought that was going to happen? Like, everyone who's ever had withdrawals.
Anyone with a functioning brain.
Yeah, so the Vietnam-era M16, the main thing that screwed it over was what always screws it over. Pentagon being the Pentagon, basically anyone who wasn't a POG.
I'm near it.
Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah. Anyone who's basically not a POG doing not POG things.
Yeah. I was at Army Surplus one. They had M16.
Okay, and then Kukri for my close combat knife because I can just attach it to the thing.
That makes sense.
Kukri's got the blade. It's got really good. It's got it's basically an axe.
Yeah,
that's a knife. Yeah, and so I got a Kukri. Oh gosh, I'm freaking British in this loadout.
You are too.
You are.
Just call me SAS boy. I'll just apparently my loadout for hunting zombies today is British loadout.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you would prefer an MDR over the SAS rifle, but No,
I prefer the
the MDR is cool, but I understand why you would choose SA-80.
It's a carbine. It's got all the kick of a rifle. With, none of the length to get caught. It's actually really good, reliable weapon. Really easy to clean, too. The only problem with the Rhino is it's not as easy to clean.
Yeah.
But like I said, you carry a 50 round. Something's on you. You pull that out, shove it into its mouth, pull the trigger. It's gonna understand you're there.
Yeah. So I'm having a really hard time choosing my modern weapons because there's just so many fucking options.
I know there is, and that's a lot of the.
Are we allowed rip rounds?
Rip rounds?
Basically, it's a copper round that basically shreds itself on entry.
Are you talking like a frangible, or are you talking something
if your firearm can fire it.
Well, I have a 9mm. Most 9mm can fire them. I will send Joe. I'll send you both what it is, so James put it in the video.
Oh, Frank has said its name several times.
Oh, is it a frangible? Where it basically turns to powder when it hits, or does it turn into serrated shards?
It's shredded shards.
It basically rips into a bunch of copper. It's kind of like a hollow point on steroids.
Yeah.
So it's using razor pedals, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just GW2 Research Rip Ammo is the exact name for it. But yeah, it's actually a bunch of copper shards that just rip through the body upon impact.
It's a risky thing to take, but sure.
My main thing is that there's so many armored things that it's not going to do anything against.
Well, the biggest problem is if you're indoors, rounds like that have a tendency to ricochet back at the shooter.
Yeah. So if you're indoors, it's going to bounce on you.
See, that one wasn't my primary, but yeah, I can say it. Yeah.
And if you're firing, at an armored or anything that's armored, it's not going to pen.
Okay, it changes my caliber choice of my pistol then. So are you familiar with the Silence Co. Maxim 9?
I recognize the name, but I'm not visualizing it.
Okay. The integrally suppressed pistol. It's big.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of heavy, but that's fine.
Yeah. I was going to ask you guys if you're bringing silencers or not, so okay.
I can with the SA-80, I can, screw a silencer on just fine.
Yeah.
They come able to do so.
I guess one of the things I was going to mention is silencers are technically semi-legal for civilian use, which is why I had the military/civilian.
Yeah.
But you guys are picking military tech anyway, so.
So I just put a picture of it in VoIP chat so Joe can see it. I'm trying to think what their new version of it's called. Here's this new version. So they're...
Oh, that's a... I'm not sure that's an attractive firearm or not.
Well, the next one I really, really like. And it's actually the second version they're currently making. It hasn't hit production yet. It's in 9mm 45. So are we going to allow it, since it technically exists and it's in being produced but not sold yet?
Okay.
Is that allowed?
It's up to you.
Because we're really stretching the rules here for it. Because it hasn't been released yet.
You're really
stretching the
stretching
rules
it.
for you to have it, yeah.
Yeah, so I can...
I'm going to say no.
Yeah,
because it's still in developmental phase. Especially since that's maybe not how it's going to end up when it fully hits market.
So it's already said that is, because I've done an interview with it. They're just producing it now. But we'll stick with this first version then.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So many things when they say, it ends up hitting market and then changing drastically.
Fair enough. So
I'm going to say no.
Yep.
We now have that for the record, but I'm going to say no.
No, I can respect that choice. That's fair. See, the reason I'm going to go with it is because no matter what ammo I put through in it, I'm going to have a suppressed pistol. It does have optics mounting for a red dot if I decide to put one on, and I can take off all the baffles to have a lighter pistol.
Or a green dot.
True, or a green dot.
Any kind of...
I can put optics on it, we'll put it that way. But,
you gonna put a ×10 scope on it?
No. But I can also take all the baffles off it to get the weight off the end of the barrel, and it's a non-tilting barrel too, which helps a lot of accuracy. And so that's gonna be my choice for a sidearm, because I'm gonna have it. I'll do 45 because it's already subsonic, which means it'll be really quiet, even quiet once it's shot. And
are you ready? Are you ready, Frank?
Yeah. I'm just trying to find the one. There it is.
Yeah, that's another good thing to grab.
Health and my upgrades. So anyway, so the Maxim 9 is going to be my sidearm because it's designed to be accurate. I can get it in 45. It's a double stack magazine, and I can have optics on it, and I can adjust the baffles to make it lighter or heavier. So my next problem is, do I go off 5.56 or 308?
That's a good one. 308 is really good for hunting.
Yeah.
Like, it can take down it's more reliable against a bear. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. 5.5... because it would get into the armored, and it would do a lot of damage to the bosses too, being 308.
Yeah. And
it's, it's 20 rounds compared to 30 in the standard magazine, so it's not that much of an ammo loss either. Okay, we'll go through because that makes my choice really, really easy for my rifle, and that is the...
Alright, ready to ready up?
Almost. Make my
okay.
perks in.
Yeah, because I want to... I'm not going to, but I wanted to cut most of the lobby stuff out.
Oh, yeah, too late.
I'm not going to anymore, because we did a lot of talking.
Yes, because it was the easiest time to talk too.
I know, because I wanted to show how good we are, that we can play crappy while talking guns. But, we're professional crappy players.
Yeah, it's professionals at it. So the primary weapon, I've got the SA-58, which is the modernized version of the FN FAL, because the FN FAL is a really reliable 308 battle rifle.
Yeah, FAL's a really good one.
In particular, SA-58 has the 8.5-inch barrel version, which is still going to be able to deal with the 200-300 meter engagements while being nice and compact, and it doesn't have the problem of the AR-15 with the buffer tube. It does a folding stock, which gives me a very compact rifle to be using.
Still not as compact as mine, bitch.
Actually, we should check that out. We should see. I'm gonna look this up now. I'm curious if it is.
No, we'll do it later. We'll look it up later.
Yeah.
And then I'll put in this little tiny cut screen where it's like, oh, Joe failed, or ha ha ha, Joe wins again.
Yeah, because
I'll plug that in.
Because it has a stock that is fully folding, so I can have wire stocks and such. So it is just the receiver plus 8.5-inch barrel.
We'll see. It might be the...
Because this has come up now. Both your rifles are military, so are you taking the civilian?
So SA-58 is technically sold
version?
civilians too.
They do not.
Are you taking the civilian versions or semi-auto, or are you taking the select fire?
The civilian version of the SA-80 has not hit the market yet, so I can't.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Okay, so you're taking select fire, Joe. Well, what about you, Dave?
Yeah. It doesn't really matter because if I do go, I'm probably never gonna use full auto because of how ridiculous the recoil is, especially as an inexperienced shooter.
They are planning on making an SA-80 that will hit the market, but right now they only have select fire. They've been focusing more on military than.
I am going to say just the civilian variant because
I'm going to go military variant because that select fire of being able to do full auto to burst to single.
Yeah,
it's actually really nice.
I just think I don't think it's ever a situation where I could use 308. Use full auto on it.
Well, the follow-up does have a full auto.
It does. I don't know if this video has full auto.
The FAL comes in full auto. I remember that really sexy video I have.
Yes. No, like
that's the FAL firing in full auto.
Yes, true, but the FAL's full auto is pretty rare. I'm thinking. Okay, I'll go with the military variant, just in case. I can't think of a time where I would use it effectively, but we'll go with the military variant, just so it has select fire on it. But even so, it also has benefits of I can put a grip because it's full of Picatinny rail on it. I can do a foregrip, I can do laser sights, any sort of torchlight on it, optics mounting, and the rest of it.
That brings us
yes,
another
that
question.
also means that you can also do military, Frank.
So what upgrades are you guys bringing on your rifle since you guys just brought it up?
So I'm going to bring up okay. So I'm technically going to bring up, you can do the silencer. Silencer is a great thing to have in the middle of the bayou when funding zombies. Although, as soon as I put that silencer on, it's now longer than your FAL. But once you put your silencer on your FAL...
It's going to be longer. Well, maybe.
I'm back in the running.
Yeah.
We'll have to measure it. But
it depends which silencer I choose too, because depending on the company, it depends on the length.
I'm going to take the optic sight that they use in Operation Desert... No, not Desert Storm. Operation Iraqi Freedom?
Okay. So you're taking an optic... Let's assume the silencers are the same length, just for sake of argument, okay? So you're taking an optic...
They are different lengths, though. The SA-80 and the FAL are both different lengths for their silencer. That's why I'm having fun with that, but we'll see. I'm taking the... and the reason I'm taking the optic that they used... I like their modern optic, but the one they used back then has a much better night vision variant.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually comes with the optic. The main optic that everyone had has a switch to turn at night vision and to, it's great. It doesn't have thermal. It does have a thermal attachment, but it's a much bigger attachment, so I'm not going to take it because it's not really worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not sure thermal would really help in this situation.
And it's basically, you could call thermal dark vision.
Yes, but I'm wondering if these things would have much of a body temperature.
If they're voodoo zombies, yes.
Oh, but they're voodoo magic zombies, not just
yes. It depends on the type of thermal imaging you're using, but I'm going to agree with you that I'm not sure thermal's really going to matter since these are very
against the butcher
corpses.
It would.
Against
the spider and scrap beak, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
And
either.
Against the hive lady, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Against the ones that are clearly dead, I'm not sure either.
So, I think you get diminishing returns on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to worry. But the night vision's still good, too.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then it's also, I'm going to take a brass catcher.
Ooh,
and the reason I'm taking a brass catcher is because they make noise when they hit things.
Yeah.
And they also can light things on fire on accident. And the amount of oil I just walked over, I do not want to be firing and then have one of my stray rounds light that on fire.
Yeah, that doesn't even occur to me.
And I think that's the only... So those are the 3 attachments I'm basically taking on my SA.
Okay, how about you, Dave? Rifle attachments?
I'm definitely doing some kind of full grip to just help that recoil and give me an easy position to hold at different angles.
SA-80 basic comes with one, that's why I'm not that worried.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, do I want a standard straight foregrip or an angled? I'm gonna say just a standard straight foregrip, just for the sake of making it simple. I'm gonna go for a top mounted laser sight, because that's gonna make getting the zero on it a lot easier if I have it on the top plate.
Yeah, I can now see you at night. You are now my bitch. I can see where you are hiding.
What are you talking about?
You got a laser sight on.
Yeah, you can turn it off, you dumb fuck. You can also have it
set to a pressure-sensitive switch. If you're out there using it,
yeah,
as a player, it's kind of like using the in-game flare rounds.
Yeah,
I can now follow it back to you.
My thought process with it is using it when I'm in very, very close quarters, having something like a 15 to 25 yard zero on it. So when I'm clearing a building.
That's again why I like the SA-80 one, because you can actually use it as a dot sight as well as a full. Like, I love that thing. It was like so in
well engineered.
That word that means it can be used
innovative.
For multiple
Innovative.
Things. Innovative. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was very innovative. They did a wonderful job. I love it.
So I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have a side-mounted separate torch that's a pressure switch, just for the sake.
That's smart.
Yeah. Because then I can, it's on ever when I'm pressing it, so I really need that short term.
Did we grab the thingy?
Not yet.
Nope. I know.
Where is the thingy?
So that gives me the sight for night vision, or when I'm really close quarters and using an IR sight. Because most laser sight combos have an IR now, or at least one I'd be choosing for a military rifle would.
Yeah, most do.
And as for the actual optic, I'd go with the EOTech holo sight that has the 2x magnifier on it, because then I have a simple 1x sight when I need it and a 2x for longer shots, and at the same time I'm not having to adjust the zeros, because you get like the ACOG red dot combo, you have two different zeros and you can change the head position to aim between them both.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, and so it would be a peer suppressor as well, but I'm just trying to think. I think that should have all the bases colored for any sort of attachments needed on it. Because once I start slapping a grenade launcher on it, I'm kind of just adding extra weight that I'm probably never going to use. So I'm not going to slap a grenade launcher on it. As for, I'm also going to do a 12...
The SA-80 comes with a grenade launcher attachment.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ones you can get for single under-barrel grenade launchers.
Okay. I know, but I don't know if there's any for the SA-80.
There is a handguard they've developed for it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to go for like the next bit of equipment, some sort of 8-inch knife, maybe a bowie or something, because I'm not very familiar with knives and hand weapons, you two are.
You just lit him on fire.
I'm going to go with a 12 gauge shorty, because it's a very compact shotgun, only 3 shells in it, no stock or anything. For anything like breech loading rounds or flare rounds, that sort of thing. Because I can carry a 10 round strip, I do have those specialty rounds, and a very light shotgun you just put onto my belt. Because that's one of the things they were designed for, was as a belt clip shotgun for breaching rounds.
Oh, what was your sidearm again?
My sidearm was the Silenco, Maxim 9.
Oh yes, that's right. So the rifle you had the
SA.
Okay. I'm gonna make fun of you.
Oh wow.
And I have to.
The Australian or me?
The Australian.
Oh, okay.
Rude. You use the HK, aren't you? You're gonna be that fucking stereotypical.
No. I'm gonna make fun of you for one stupid reason. You decided to put the fun switch on a 7.62. And I gave you an out. They gave you another out with the accessories to put like a bipod or something on it. Because you took one of the rifles that is completely uncontrollable in full auto. And decided to take the full auto.
This is entirely why I said I will probably never use it, because I could not think of a reason to use it, how uncontrollable
but you know,
it
in
was.
a panic situation, you're going to flip the fun switch. And, 30 or 20 rounds, depending on the size of the magazine you've got, goes straight into the ceiling. That's the only reason I'm going to make fun of you.
Yeah, because I was so close to saying something where I thought, maybe there's something I could use it for. I couldn't think of anything.
Like, if you had a bipod, I would have given it to you that maybe you're trying to do some suppressive fire if you're working in a group or something. But...
yeah, no, you lost that one.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, and you guys are going to make fun of me for this one, and I'm going to point something out that neither of you guys thought about. But it's not my main reason for taking it anyway. So, you can make fun of me for it. So, let's start with the rifle. Mini 14.
Okay, 5.56.
Perfectly with an optic.
Oh, you just cut out.
Give it a second. You just cut out. It doesn't want you to try and rub anything in our face. The internet has decided we win and you lose.
I guess.
Right, okay, go ahead.
Okay. Mini 14 for the rifle.
Okay.
Preferably with a quick detach optic and possibly with a silencer, but civilian model, semi-auto only, preferably detachable 30-round box mag, wood stock. Pick
you just want the wood stock if you think it's pretty.
Oh, there's actually another reason for it.
Because it is pretty?
It's the easiest to maintain brush gun in semi-auto.
But it's in 5.56.
Yes.
It's not a brush gun.
Not.
It is. It was supposed to... Ruger stupidly thought that they could replace the M14 with the Mini 14 in 5.56. And they said if they had beaten like the contract, they would have gotten the contract instead. No, they wouldn't have. The Mini 14 has problems. Accuracy is one of them.
And reliability,
but at the
range
range
was too.
It wouldn't be a big issue. It's a great survivalist gun. In fact, it's still the favorite of the survivalists out there today.
Hey,
because
this poultry or weeping stone mill?
But yeah, it's really easy to maintain. Accurate enough, even though it's not a precision gun. You're not going to win any championships with it. But for my purposes, accurate enough. And the big thing is, if I'm lugging something through a swamp, I want something I can take down and repair really easily. And again, very simple in terms. Cleaning it's a little bit more of a bear than like an AR-15, but yeah. The pistol.
I'm just that accuracy problem though.
Yeah.
It's still accurate enough.
Especially since, except for here's one problem. Now let's run into the player.
It's accurate enough to take out a player. It's just not match competition accurate.
You know how
well, it's less accurate than your average AR-15 too. No, like when it comes to its accuracy, it's worse than either mine or Joe's choices.
Yeah. Not only that, how many times have we been like every single time we run into a problem, what usually kills us is the accurate sniper.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, yeah, you can go up against the monsters, but the players are gonna get you.
So for me, there are better choices for the gun, and you didn't go find the advantages of which is a folding stock. That you didn't even make as well as compact or more light. So you've chosen a wood stock too, which is the heaviest of your options.
Still fairly light,
which is
compact.
Very heavy.
But, by the way, bloodline, right here.
Okay.
Well,
that's why I'm like.
Level.
So I knew you'd make fun of me for that one.
Yeah, I already grabbed it.
I like
sidearm is a really hard choice for me, but again, I want something really easy to maintain in the field.
Which it is.
Because I'm preparing it for the swamps all the time.
Yeah, and that part I 100% agree with you. But the first time you get into a duel, especially a sniper duel with another player, they're gonna win.
People have done it.
Oh, I can agree, but people can't. There's always outliers, but the great majority of the time, your gun's gonna lose in that aspect, especially since that's usually like I'm gonna admit, Dave's gun is more accurate than mine is.
Yeah.
But mine is still a lot more accurate than yours, and I'll admit,
not as much as you think, but at the ranges that it would matter, the gun's more accurate than I am. Still, I'm gonna flat out point that out. And really, for the extreme ranges you're talking about, a bolt gun's better than anything semi-auto anyway.
Not so much anymore.
But again,
it's pretty close.
Okay.
But I kept thinking, I'm in Louisiana, and I don't know how long, realistically, if you're out here, you'd be camped out in the swamp. So I want something that you can disappear in Alaska with for months on end and not have to worry about.
Yeah, but
it seems like most of the time it's a few
M14.
weeks. Yeah, I'm going to say most of the time it seems a few weeks. I will give you that it's definitely easy to maintain. And definitely easy to maintain. You win that category. Yours is the easiest to maintain out of the three of them.
Again, at 300 yards is when it starts to suffer. So.
Yeah. I keep getting shot outside of 300 yards. Freaking snipers.
Like 100
but yeah,
yards.
no, also agree, like a lot of the bolters, the bolt actions are going to get us when it comes to that.
Yeah. Now for the sidearm, that one I've been struggling with.
Yeah, that is.
I really like the 40 caliber. I think a do everything caliber. However, for what you'll be doing here,
that's why normally the 45 or
I would say.
Yeah. But yeah,
either
that's
Commander series.
Okay.
Or technically, I would take a Mark 23.
That's what I was expecting you to do. The Mark 23, because everyone chooses that.
Well,
no one but him chose that. What are you talking about?
The disadvantages on it. It's a huge gun, but I've got huge hands, so that's actually an advantage.
Yeah, no, for you that's an advantage. And my gun's big too. I
didn't even take the AK-45. It's the civilian version.
I got the 50 caliber Rhino. That's bigger.
But if I couldn't go for that one, I would have taken a modernized 1911.
Okay, which is another good one.
But the thing is both in 45, you can silence them very effectively.
Yes.
Again, mechanically simple. So if I'm walking around the swamps, there are guns that survived Iwo Jima, and that's volcanic.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
yeah,
and you can put an underslung light on there too, which would be really, really useful for clearing out buildings.
Yeah.
Now the big thing is, I don't know if I could rely on something like nods, and being out in the bayou for a week or two. So I would want really easy to take care of, low battery drainage stuff that I could take with me. And to me, something as simple as like 1911 or an HK Mark 23 or HK 45 are really just modernized 1911s. So that works there. And then I would, again, take a tactical Tomahawk with me. Served great in Vietnam, served great in Desert Storm. It's a great tool for when you're out in this bayou. You can throw it and, clear buildings with it, which I totally do. Pistol in one hand, Tomahawk in the other.
Yeah, and I can do my Kukri and.
But yeah, it's.
I can.
That's fair.
My only question is still the rifle, but
yeah,
definitely your 1911.
Now here's the one thing I'm gonna use to shut down your rifles. As just a what if.
Okay.
So let's assume, we're hunting monsters and all that. There's a lot of magical juju going out there.
Yeah.
How reliable are your guns going to be, especially with all the electronics that you're bringing along?
So the FNFL mechanic is perfectly fine.
There's nothing electronic on. The only thing that's electronic on mine is the night vision. No, the scope also has a. I can flip the scope and it uses just a magnified red dot.
And the
well, that's one thing I was going to talk about too. Is just he started talking about lasers and flashlights and all these advanced.
Yeah, but I still
the
have
thing is that when it comes to voodoo, technically, voodoo does not affect technology. In any of voodoo myths, it does not burn out technology.
The big thing though is there's a lot of luck involved in a lot of, luck manipulation, a lot of voodoo stuff too.
True, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't. In all of its in the Dresden mythology, yeah, sure, but Dresden mythology is his own. And
no, I'm just talking about like voodoo priests walking to casinos come out loaded.
Yeah, no, they do that, but a lot of that's also because they're crime lords.
Yes, but
kind of defeats that argument, but
it is a thing, and it is attributed to the mythos.
Thing is definitely in their lore.
So my response to that is simply because the SA-58 has sights put into the front and back of it. It's in the receiver, so no matter what, it's got sights. Now, if I had thought that through, I would have gotten a second pair of sights that were co-witnessed.
I was saying technically, that's one of the reasons why I picked the Desert Storm variant, because it does have the ability to just be non-electric.
Yeah.
Just it's only a ×5, I think. And I'm gonna have Gaz yelling at me in the comments. Yes. Joe, you're an idiot. It's this exact number, and these are all the mechanics in it. I'm like, yeah, you were in the British military. Shut up.
And again, like I said, I picked a rifle that you can just disappear in the backwoods with for months.
Yeah, I know, and you can last longer in the backwoods than we can. And that's why I'll definitely say, when it comes to that, your gear is very easy to disappear in the woods with.
And that was the whole idea I wanted behind it, is something easy to source the ammunition, easy to source enough to carry, and disappear in the backwoods with for however long.
Yeah.
And that being said, the big thing is, I don't think for the equipment you're taking with you, if there's really right or wrong answers, it's the thought process.
That's another thing, and that's what I'm saying. No, there's no. Well, there's some wrong answers. There's some things that if you had picked, I would have looked at you like
a 22 pistol.
If you like, or RPG.
Actually, the 22 pistol, I can totally defend.
Yeah, no, 22 pistol, I'll defend too.
But there's certain guns I just will not let you get away with.
Yeah, no, the same thing here. Now, none of the, I'm not gonna say any of the ones you guys picked, I'm gonna say are like wrong. Where it's like, it's horrible, you shouldn't have done that.
I knew I was gonna get flagged for the Mini 14.
A little bit, but
just mostly because there's better options for it.
Yeah, I think that there were better ones you could go with, but
again, the thought process was it's stupidly simple mechanically, and you don't know how long you're going to be in that swamp. And it's a swamp is the big thing I started thinking about.
See, I had that thought process, but I knew the FN Fails mechanically was super reliable, and so is the modernized version of it. And then I also knew, well, it's compact, and I can get polymer stuff and such for it to help cut down on weight. And the other thing was, I wanted a brush gun, because we're in a thick brush here, fighting things that could be tougher than we know, so I went to 308.
Mine's technically not a brush gun. Mine is very much a military. But it's been tried in various things. It's also did very well in the comparable jungles. They're still not quite the same as Louisiana of the Falcons.
Yeah.
But then again, to be fair, in the Falcons, they were fighting the Brazilian, or Argentinian, sorry, not Brazilian, Argentinian military.
And 5.56 used basically everywhere because it is a reliable round.
Thank you, everyone, for coming and joining our rant. If you disagree or agree, there's a comment section.
Please send all hate mail to
JoeoftheMasks.
Send all an email to Joe and Dave at doesn'texist.com.
Yeah, do something like that. But yeah, because are you back in the game, Dave?
I had to completely reboot it.
Oh, okay, I'll wait till you. But Frank can leave. All right. So, anyways, this has been Joe the Masks.
Fair dinkum Dave.
And Frank and Sense.
And thank you so much for have a wonderful day. Thank you, and I love you.
Oh, God damn it, Joe, not the generic bullshit.